It's 8 after the hour, 6 on the Mighty Metro FM. Welcome to it. Thank you so much to the touchdown. There was such a beauty about having Casper Nyevest as well as Touch here, speaking about their kids and hearing black young fathers speaking about their children the way that they did with such pride. You know, it was beautiful to see. It was beautiful to listen to as well. So happy to have been part of that conversation just from a listening point of view. It's 9 after the hour 6. Welcome to it. It's Sports That Amplified with Andile on the Mighty Metro FM. Tonight, hey, it's the most awaited show every single week. It's Podcast Fridays. We'll get into the big news of the week, but also which team right now in the DStv Premiership is in need of help. The guys will give us each their own team. Which player, though, has been the most impressive over the week? They'll give us the Sports Not Amplified Player of the Week as well. Nadim is here. Mkonza's here. Pro Pilani is here. We'll get to them and also look at the weekend that's to come. What games are we looking forward to and what could we perhaps expect from those games? The coaching badges conversation carries on. We had Morgan Mamila come onto the show yesterday. We'll get into that one a little bit and talk about it. Bafana Bafana, the prelim squad is out. What do the guys think of that? The referee suspension, the level of refereeing in the DStv Premiership at the moment. We'll touch base on that as well. Remember that at 18:45, we hand it over to you on 086 000 2160. WhatsApp on 060 552 7303. Oh, what you just heard now, top of the show, the kickoff. If you've been watching the World Championships, the World Athletics Championships, that was Wade van Niekerk. He came last in his heat in the final. I mean, geez, what a horrible race he ran, and he said so himself. But I just wonder, it's a story made for Thursdays, Timmy. That one moment when he decided to go play touch rugby, gets injured. He's never been the same since. This was a boy that was poised to be the star of world athletics. When Usain Bolt was making his way out, Wade van Niekerk was the next big thing. How often does he think back to that day on that field, playing touch rugby? And is that what's got him to where he is now? Or maybe it's other things. But I often wonder about the decision and that moment there. You know, on Thursdays we speak about moments. I wonder about that moment. Let's take a break. When we come back on the other side, we'll begin with the show. They're here. It is Sports Not Amplified on the Mighty Metro FM with Andile. It's Podcast Fridays. Hey to everybody on Facebook. I know there's a lot of guys on Facebook that are following the stream. As I say, you are live. Pilani Zulu, I see you. The sky is the limit. Vuisile Mabena. Now in Yakbona, hello, Chiefs crying. And Kulim Langs also on Facebook. I do see you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the show. Appreciate it. Let me introduce you to the guys all the way in Durban. He's the mayor of football in the KZN region. He brings us everything KZN. It's Pro Pilani. Ed Pro Pilani, welcome.
Good evening to Andile. Good evening to the Jasmine Studio, and good evening to all the listeners of this number on Sports Show in South Africa.
Pro, thank you so much this week. I mean, you do your bit. We covered the story of the Banyana player that is not, that wasn't great to cover. You know, having lost money and being tricked the way that they were being tricked or the way she was tricked wasn't a great one. But thank you so much for being on top of that.
It was my pleasure, Andile. And the most important thing is to protect our girls because we're thinking about who are looking at them as an opportunity to cash on them. So hopefully the message was sent and it's clear, and the girls are going to take extra precautionary measures in future.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And of course, on the far end, he's got many names, man. Because he played for so many teams, almost every team in the DStv Premiership. I see Golden Arrows, Amazulu, Maritzburg United, Kaiser Chiefs, Super Sport United.
Next week, Intelus introduce him.
Introduce. And former captain of Bafana Bafana as well. That one I need to put there. And currently? But say it,
yeah, Mnandi Academy Sports.
Mnandi Academy Sports CEO. He's here as well. And next,
CEO and coach.
Yeah,
it's like Jomason.
MD,
Inspiration
CEO,
Inspiration Project.
Next to him is a man that goes by many names, but you can simply just call him Nadim, researcher, and because we're here, we can call him that. He's a statistician, researcher, and analyst of the beautiful game called football. Nadim, as per usual, welcome.
Yeah, Andile. I'm happy to be here. It was interesting to hear you guys during the week talking about coaching.
Well, let's carry on with the conversation of coaching because it's one that has raised eyebrows in this country. Coaches, I spoke to a couple of them who come from outside, say when they get here and they find out that there's coaches that coaches a C and D, they're shocked and they're alarmed. But when we had that conversation, Kwanzaa, you were here. The next day we carried on with it. Morgan Mamila wanted to be a part of it. Have a listen to what Morgan Mamila had to say. Remember that he's got a C, I think he said, yeah? He's got a C license, Morgan Mamila. This is what he had to say about coaching and coaching badges.
What FA or pro license session, even a player can copy those sessions and even create something from those and make it better.
I don't understand, Coach. What do you mean?
Okay, now Medendorp, highly qualified coach. Me, Morgan, I'm watching Medendorp is doing the session. It's simple. There's nothing difficult. You watch what he does. One day, tomorrow you can do exactly what he's doing. There is no session that will say, no, this is for pro license. There is no such thing.
So that was Morgan Mamila, the coach at Chippa United, answering the question on how do coaches that don't have higher coaching badges, how are they able to set up a training session and are able to improve players? And he says, no, he's watched Middendorp do it before. He knows how to do it. Even anybody can just watch and do it themselves. And then he goes on to speak about coaches who do have those pro licenses in the DSTV Premiership. Have a listen.
Pro license coaches, they were here last season. Two of them, they couldn't put the team in the top 8. Highly qualified.
Who's this? Who are you talking about?
Rulani, A license, beat those pro license. Middendorp was here, pro license. Pro license. The young coach who was at Amazu, where he couldn't even won 4 matches the entire season.
Romain Falls.
He was here with pro license. Musa Gnatama took Swallows from relegation with KFC license. He took the team to top 8.
Yeah, Pro Planning, I don't know your views on this one. You've heard Rulani, you've heard the TD, you've heard even Hugo Bruce at some point, speaking about there needs to be coaching that improves the players. What do you think?
But Andile, to be honest with you, I'm one of those who are saying that we need qualified coaches to improve the level of our players. I agree with Coach Roland and with everything that he said. I really don't agree with Coach Morgan when he said that you can just copy whatever another coach is doing in the training session and go apply it elsewhere and apply it according to the way that you want your team to look like. I don't think that's the right take. But to be honest with you, coaches need to go and learn. And if he doesn't believe in coaching badges, why is he going for badges himself? But at the end of the day, we really want our coaches to be qualified so that they can improve our players and make it job Hugo Bros to be easy in the national team.
Nadim, do you feel the same?
No, I don't feel the same, Andile, because Rulani has never played football. So I understand why he feels coaching is so important to him. But guys that have played football, like Lucas Adebe, that are coached by coaches who won Champions League or won a lot of trophies, you can't compare them to someone like me who has never kicked the ball like as a professional footballer. So it differs from one to another. So I would say Jomo Sono, he never did any coaching course, but he developed almost so many players that won AFCON, played in the World Cup, like Mark Betisbaya, played in Russia at a higher level. So many great players. Yes, it's important to attend those coaches, but I'm not saying it shouldn't be like, okay, if you are not qualified as a coach, like Jomo did say he's not that much keen on attending those courses, but he did a lot in football. He developed, no one developed players more than Jomo Sono in South African football. So many great players, even Rulane. I mean, I know his uncle, he knows very well. He could be as well been inspired by Jomo Sono to be involved in football. It is important to attend those coaching courses, but we can't now say all those who didn't attend, they just risking the player's career, because Jomo Sono, we saw him creating so many careers. Even Yeye, you spoke to Yeye, he was in Botswana. He's one of those players who were developed by Jomo. Morgan Gold is an assistant coach at Siskonet. Last time I checked, so many great players that were produced by Jomo Sono. So I'm divided into that.
But
Mkwanza?
For me, Andile is a specialized profession. Yes, Nyamuzu Nadi Mukumangutu Praje develop a lot of players, but modern trends require to have in-depth knowledge of coaching, how to develop players. And one of the aspects that we need to improve as South Africans, because of coaching education. Coaches need to be qualified to develop and improve players. See, last corner, because of that's one element that we needed to improve aggression. So for me, I can tell you right now, whether I have a football background, I still believe that you need to do coaching courses if you're taking coaching seriously. Because modern trends, Andile, there are modern trends that are coming up, man. You need to understand what is good in this space.
Do you think modern trends and the science of the game is a reason that Jomo Sono, that Nadim speaks so proudly of, has fallen off from
can I tell
the
you something?
hierarchy of football.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry to mention names, but about Godinega saying that group player, they were coaching a motivation. Pelabas coach
What do you mean they're coaching motivation?
Motivation. Dressing room. Hey, come on, boys, you can do this. Manje, that will never happen. Because you need to break the game down. You need to be able to anticipate and read the game. This is what the game requires. In the science element, you need to understand the science, what's happening in the game. Because a conditioning trainer needs to explain to you.
And I'm a training session, coach.
We understand. Yeah. I'm a coaching about
round this
11 against 11 the whole week. Maspuma Friday is also a lineup when but I'm not breaking down good spew. This is what we expect from you. So these are the things that we take for granted, but I can tell you right now, as a country, we need to be aggressive when it comes to coaching courses. And if I see Lapo, Sizoba Silakona, Sawini AFCON 96. Sisa Samila Skanyagas. Askaza sends the research good but coaching coaching element, you're part of the problems now, because some players don't improve. Spelele nathi Andile sadlala sazaphela sayikwaphela yonke into because we didn't improve. Sesiphelele mase ushaya ceiling.
And you said something. You said you felt if you had been coached by a pizza, for instance, you would have gone far.
Mina Andile 2008 we played Egypt. After Egypt it got to win AFCON. Pizza coach me gave me my last call-up and they gave me a Mukina, which I got a man of the match England. We played Egypt and we lost 1-0. Mfethu lo muntu wangibreakela game down as center back asikakhulumi nge-team sikhuluma as individual breaking it down, and he knew my individual requirements as an individual. He told me no, over there I've been watching you, but last sikona masikule level imagine if ngamthola uPitso zisashuba leqaleni ngabe nguphi
ngakuphi
ngabe ngifair
like where
fair kanti benchmark yamaphela ithi kuphi ngabe fair.
Okay, I honestly feel like I'm not against coaching. Even Pitso, the one you're talking about, was developed by Jomo Sono. So I am saying it's difficult it's different for someone like Rulano who has never played football, never been coached by coaches who have won World Cups or played at a higher level. Obviously, you'll need to more. You have never been in a professional dressing room.
So then you agree with Morgan Mamire, who says, I was there. I saw what Mirindop was doing. I saw how he was doing the training session. So therefore, I can do it as well. You believe that players who've been coached in training sessions, they can go and replicate those training sessions?
I know Morgan very well. I once attended Baroka the whole week, where Tobechane was like they were saying he's a coach. Morgan was actually the one who was coaching. Tobechane was not coaching. I will go there. You'll find Tobechane sitting in the stands. Baroka, and at that time Baroka were in the PSL for at least 5 years. They were never relegated when Morgan was still at Baroka. Then he left. I don't know, he went to Cape Town and wherever he went. But what he have done so far, he has done brilliant as a coach. I mean, I know he's a content creator, he's a technical director, but he is a content creator and also a technical director. Now, you remember Morgan also retired after as a coach. Then he came back and now he's coaching again. But what he has done, even if you don't have to like him to see what he has done. At Baroka, that team was solid from the NFT. Chipa United, no, but it was not. It was no longer there when they were.
Yeah, I think the foundation I said.
No, Chipa is there. Chipa is doing well now. They outplayed Chiefs. They nearly beat Pirates. Mlenga, if he scored,
you can't.
Right.
You can't.
We've got to wrap it up.
No. You cannot undermine Mokan like that.
No, I'm not undermining him.
He's a better coach.
No, but we are trying.
You are coaching at Monash. What player did you develop at Monash?
I mean a lot.
Name one.
Okay, hold on, Nadim. Pilane, close this one.
To put some respect on the coaching profession, I was speaking to a PSL coach about an hour ago. He says to me they went to play Sundowns, and he told me that they started losing the game when Sundowns walked out of the changing room. The preparedness, the technical team, the backroom staff, and the seriousness, the way they take serious their game, even when they warm up. He looked at all those kind of attributes and he said to me, look, as much as we want to compete with Sundowns, with our players and stuff, but the way those people take their football seriously, the coaching department, everything, they pay attention to detail, each and every player, they know what is expected, they know what they require from those players. So you can't tell me that those people, coaching education is not important. Jose Mourinho never played football professionally, but is one of the greatest coaches in the world. So it cancels Nadim's argument, Andile.
Well, we're going to leave it at that. I don't know about cancelling, but you are more than allowed to feel
I
like
can't
that.
wait. He's looking for something that is not there. I'm not saying coaches should not go to school, but let's not undermine those who didn't go because they produce players more than who are now coming with coaching.
All right, I need to end it here. Let's move on to the next discussion now. You can carry this conversation on. Mazola, how are you?
Yeah, I've been thirsting podcast Fridays. So
hey, he popped in. Yeah, we couldn't say no to him as part of the show.
I popped in. Can I weigh in on this coaching thing? No. Okay, we are moving.
You have 30 seconds. Go for it.
No, I just think it's to the detriment of the coaches in terms of when SAFA and CAF finally come together and decide the criteria for coaches. You can't sit on the bench without a license. So in future, it will hurt. I hear Nadim's argument, and I agree to a certain extent. But in the long term, if you don't have a license, you won't be able to sit on the bench.
Let's move on. Bafana Bafana. The preliminary squad was selected.
Yeah.
We haven't done it all week, of course, because we normally do wait for the actual squad of 23. Goalkeepers, Ronan Williams, Veli Motra. I mean, he's been a favorite of Hugo Bruce's, Veli Motra. And he's the one many people were questioning. Ricardo Goss is in there as well. You've got Sipo Shine as well from Orlando Pirates who's in there. Midfielders, that's where he forwards rather, that's what they call them, the forwards. That's where he packed it with Mihlali Mayambela, Themba Zwane, Kodi Sang, you've got Kanyisa Maya, who's been a favorite of his as well. Zakhele Lepasa, of course. Lyle Foster. Mutiba makes his way back, and Munapule Saleng. It's the whole team with defenders and midfielders. I'm not going to go through the entire thing. Mkhanza, what did you think of it?
Obviously, Andile basazoskhatha the squad based on it's still a preliminary squad, and I think Hugo Bros already knows these players that he wants. So it's just a framework to say, yeah, Nketa Nalaba, because acknowledging you've done well in terms of the.
But is there somebody that you think should be here that's not here?
No. I think this is a squad that we.
This is the best South Africa squad.
Yeah, because Umbujana played well against Kaizer Chiefs. So we shouldn't think Maudlali game one against Kaizer Chiefs then grand, but Umbujana is a top quality, brings in experience, and that position is vital. Let the blind playmaker.
Pro.
I put Andile, it's him right, but there are a couple of names that I don't think we should still be looking at them. I think in South Africa we need to admit we have a problem at left back for the fact that Coach Hugo has recalled Osfiso Hlanti back into the team. It shows you that you've got a problem in left back position. And as much as players like Opre Modiba have been given an opportunity at Bafana level, it still shows to us Innocent Mayela, Opre Modiba, Osfiso Hlanti, then it means there's nobody that is coming through the ranks who can cement that position and be our preferred first choice left back. For the fact that he's still going back to ask for Hlanti to come and help and to come and be part of the squad, it shows that we have a problem. That's the only position I wish I can sit down with Coach Hugo and say what is he thinking and what is he looking at going forward into the national team. Perhaps he might even think of calling Onkanyeso Shiba all the way from Shinga, all the way from Portugal, to also give him a chance at left back, because it seems like it's still anyone's game in that position.
Ncube, what do you think?
I'm happy to see Lebo Mutiba there. He plays at the highest level in France. Coach Hugo has said that only a fool does not change his mind. So possibly, hopefully, Lebo doesn't get cut from the squad, because he's being coached by an Arsenal great who speaks highly of him at the moment, playing in the top division in France. I think one of the big omissions, though, in my opinion, is Gift Links. He's going to be playing in the Europa League conference for AIGF in Denmark at the moment. Maybe Denmark, not one of the top 5 leagues in the world, but definitely top 6, top 7. If you look at players that are moving across from a Belgium league onto a Spanish La Liga, German Bundesliga, and in the English Premier League as well. And Gift Links has been consistent over the last 3-4 years playing in the Danish league.
Nadim?
Yeah, for me, if you look at the age of the players, it doesn't speak development. If you look at Lungsimbunjan, how old is he? 33 years. And he's getting his call up to the national team. It's actually not a step to the right direction. He might not even make the
final cut.
The final cut. Yeah. Then you ask yourself, what are you doing? Are you motivating are you rewarding him for TS Galaxy doing well in the first 2 matches, or are you improving the national team going forward? Rather select maybe young players who they will benefit more being part with Pesitao and the likes of them in the national team. But otherwise, it's a good squad. But
Young hasn't done Nadim, because sometimes we need to be honest, face the reality that players haven't performed. I mean, in the first 5 games,
no, there's some Fokeng. That's not true. That's not true. There's some Fokeng. There's some Fokeng at Pirates.
Overall,
there are so many players young players who are seeing what doing well. Even Gutman Mesele has been brilliant for Chippa United since he signed on. You can't say they are not doing well.
Does Mkonza mean young as in the league or young in the
No,
squad that Hugo has put together? Because that squad Hugo has put together is taking us to the AFCON.
Yeah, I understand. But I'm saying, Mina, if you look at the first 5 games that we've watched thus far, what does it tell you? Has the players performed? You can see teams are struggling to kick in. I know Bruce is using also historical data. Okay, I've selected Unadim before.
So you've not watched Stellenbosch. So far, you've not watched Stellenbosch. You've not seen how they've been playing. They beat SuperSport United. They beat Royal AM. And then
let's talk about Mufokeng.
Yeah,
with the games that are played so far, I mean, we had a caller here who says give him jersey number 10, and he's had some nice touches. I think he's been exciting. But is this the time? Do you think he's worthy of a call-up, Nadeem?
I honestly think even if he is not gonna be end up like making the final 23, just the experience, that the motivation. That's how we start. I mean, we've seen players getting called
if Maseko got a call young age. Yeah. If Maseko got a call up in his breakthrough season to the national team, why not Mufokeng as well? I know by the time Hugo called up Maseko, we were closer to the end of the season, and we had kind of seen what Maseko can do.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, it's a little different. We're talking about a couple of games versus...
Yeah, but Mufokeng, remember, started playing for Pirates towards the end of last season, and he's a regular now in the beginning of the season. It tells you something. He's putting big players on the bench. So if the coach is looking, I mean, if it's a 36-man squad, why not have a look at him? I mean, the junior national teams aren't playing. They failed to qualify for major tournaments. What other opportunity are they going to get? So why not call him up now with the senior heads and see in a few weeks what
also,
he can do?
But also, we are correct, Mazola, but also we shouldn't rush these decisions of making, because I understand Guti, we need to see that consistency in application from the players, because yes, 5 games you've played well, like Sisho Situmfukeng has done so well for Pirates, but also we need to look at how integration is very important, because sometimes integrator national team angasabui, because we know a culture like that. Sometimes when the stage is so big without monitoring, situation where Intuania collapse. But Mfukeng has been doing so well. Let's monitor him and see Guti he produces these good performances, because let's not rush just to make a decision.
But the likelihood also is that Mkonza, Hugo might not even play him. I mean, if he calls him up just to say, I've had a look at you, but it's a 36-man squad. He's gonna cut it to 23. If he calls up Mufokeng, he's probably not gonna make the 23.
What did I say, Ngomsimang?
What did you say?
I told Mazol. Nati will play for Chiefs and get selected. What did I say to you? Remember?
So you think Msimang was being called up because
he's last year how many games he played? Captain leadership. Galaxy was.
I mean, the man who sold him to Chiefs said the same thing. He said, "I sold him for the mere fact that I know if I sell him, he will get selected."
So you think he got selected because of the Chiefs?
I mean, it's quite clear. I mean,
he
wasn't playing.
And
he
the TX Galaxy was solid
when he was at TX Galaxy. I mean, he got picked towards the end of last season in that 33-man squad, but they cut him out. But he's back in the preliminary squad now. Let's see what happens when Hugo cuts it to 23.
Well, I mean, if Hugo does cut him out of the 23, then that point becomes null and void, because he's called him up before as part of the main squad and not selected.
No, but
so he's been in his eye.
Azanga muzwe. Makambizile that time. Azanga muzwe ingwenya ngathi akunashukela nyana. So asazi ke this time ukuthi uzo if amkata based on.
That's such an age-old thing when people used to say that.
Ngasho kanje washo kasona.
Chiefs again, but let's see. Let's give him a chance. Let's take a break now. When we come back on the other side, which team has not impressed you? Which team is not make sure over the last week of games? And which player has impressed you the most before we look at the fixtures for the weekend? It's Podcast Fridays on the Mighty Metro FM, 1835. We've got a special guest in Mazola Molefe who's joined the guys, Pro Pilane, Nadeem, as well as Mkonza. Guys, let's talk about this weekend in football. What do we notice? What do we see? Let's start with the teams. Pro, which team for you, when you look at the games that were played over the last week since we were last on air on Friday, which team is in trouble? Which team is not make sure? The team that you guys picked last week was Richards Bay. Which one are you going with this week?
2 teams with Andile, Richards Bay, and Cape Town Spurs. Ncube. You know, I watched how Sundowns dismantle them and disorganize them. I was so disappointed to see how they were made to change shadows at times against Sundowns, and I don't think this is going to work for them if they don't change. Cape Town Spurs is so unfortunate that such a young and wonderful team to watch is struggling. So those 2 teams put Andile, I have a shame. Ngazuthi career kamkhonza.
Mkonza, since your name came up, which team for you?
Philane, before ngisho team yami, going to say Richards Bay izophela kuphi this season?
No, he said Kaitano Tembo is a very good appointment.
Yabona
ngoba you are the one who doesn't want us to mention ukuthi budlalaphi.
Let's go.
Andile, for me, Richards Bay again. I watch their performances because there's no improvement, and now again it speaks to coaching. And I guess see break it down. But the player that has done well for me, Mudiba, I thought he played well. I've always criticized him.
Okay. Oh, so you jumped into the player as well. So Mudiba for you is your player,
and the team
Richards Bay again.
Not make sure,
Yeah, no. If you look at Royal M, how they were beaten by Stellenbosch at home, honestly speaking, they don't look like. Also, they're in trouble. Just like we said immediately, we knew when Kaitano Tembo was appointed that Jomo was making a mistake. I mean, it's hiring a coach that was sacked by SuperSport United in Sekhukhune was never going to improve Richards Bay. I'm not sure what Philane saw when he said it's a good appointment. And if you look at, the player, for me, if I must go there, Bernard Parker was so impressed how he played against Kaizer Chiefs. That's why sometimes guys like Tim Sugas, who've been agents before, how they assemble their team, that kind of experience is really helping TX Galaxy. The other players, obviously, they can come with energy and speed, but the guidance and experience of Bernard Parker is brilliant today.
I'm shocked that you guys are mentioning Royal AM, Richards Bay, and Cape Town Spurs, right? And those are teams that have played 3 and 4 games and are sitting on 1 point. But there's another team that's played 3 games and sitting on 1 point that I'm not hearing. Mazola, what about you? Which team for you think is not make sure?
The one from Naturen.
I mean, they're sitting with 1 point as well as Kaizer Chiefs, and I'm not hearing them. What is it about?
No, I already said that that they need to change Molefe. Molefe is not good enough. Will never improve Kaizer Chiefs. I am not sure what they saw when they hired him. I mean, I can't speak. I do look like I'm coming here just to speak better about Kaizer Chiefs. I'm just leaving that because now I've seen so many things where it's like I'm a Chiefs hater.
Mazola, you?
Yeah,
Which team?
I'll take from Nadim's book as well and say if I mention Chiefs, you know what's going to happen. So
I need an honest opinion. We hold no straws here. I don't care which it is. It must be an honest opinion.
I've said it from the beginning, or even before the season kicked off. Royal AM are in trouble merely because of the ban. I mean, you've watched their games now. You can see John is running out of ideas because it's the same team. The players are comfortable. They know that they've got their places secured, and another team. And this I'm basing it on looking ahead in terms of relegation candidates, and that yes, Kaizer Chiefs are in trouble, but I do have a sense that Mulifintseki can turn it around. So if I have to pick 2 teams, I'd say Richards Bay and Royal AM. If you are forcing me to throw a third one, I'd say maybe Mulifintseki is on a knife's edge. Maybe he's on a knife's edge there because they're playing Amazulu.
Which players impressed you?
It's a tough one. I've been impressed by a lot of players, but from a struggling team, Castillo, I've been singing his praises since the season started. And from a Sundowns point of view, I think brilliant signing in Lucas Costa. He's as Coach Rulani usually puts it, he's a ceiling raiser. You can see that he's come in, he's adapted quickly, and he's fitting to the system.
All right, so there it is as far as the teams and the players are concerned. Let's move on now to this weekend, guys. You've picked a game each that you want to talk about from this weekend. Konza, I'm going to start with you. You seem to be in the fryer today from all angles. Which game are you looking at?
Of course, in Amazulu.
A big game this for Kaizer
Chiefs. That's a big game.
Why? They can't not win this game.
Yeah, ile game le niku foreclose 3 years last season after bashaya ngama
4-0.
Yeah, was shy Chiefs 4-0 bambiza office.
5:30 tomorrow. Kaizer Chiefs versus Amazulu.
Yeah, so Chiefs is only first winning Amazulu tomorrow. Na Amazulu awaka concede, bazoqala ukuconsider kusasa Chiefs to win.
Amazulu sitting in 11th at the moment with Kaizer Chiefs in 13th. There is a difference of 2 points between the two teams. Amazulu with 3 points. So you're saying that game for you, and you're saying
match win match. Asibali MTN 8 angithi win.
Yes, talking about the league.
Yeah, so Nseki's first match ayasuka lapha phansi.
Nadim?
You look how the MTN 8 against Stellenbosch and SuperSport United played. I mean, I didn't expect SuperSport United to lose to Stellenbosch. Now they are going to Cape Town where they are very strong. I honestly think Gavin Hunt is not going to challenge Sundowns for the league title. It's just going to be a distance number 2. So, yeah, it might be a home win, actually.
SuperSport are going to lose.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think in Cape Town they'll find it hard because if you look how they've been winning SuperSport, they've really the first against Richards Bay. Anyone can beat Richards Bay in the PSL. I mean, if a team is struggling to beat Richards Bay, there's a problem. They did to win 2-0. Then they drew with Amazulu. 0-0. Okay, against Cape Town City. Eric Tinkler needs to be careful of Darren Kitt. He's not a good goalkeeper. He's no longer a PSL standard. Remember, he was with Cape Umoya at Cape Town. I'm not sure what happened when Rogers Desa was there. Eric Tinkler needs to get a goalkeeper. I think that's the only reason they lost to SuperSport United. So I feel like Stellenbosch will be strong enough for SuperSport United.
Well, you spoke about the Kaizer Chiefs. Let me bring in Opta Jabu now. Opta Jabu, of course, on Twitter, you do know he's there. He's giving us the stats and the very latest. We do welcome him now on the line. Boy, thank you so much for joining us. Nzeki, Kaizer Chiefs, that game coming up against Amazulu. What do we know about Chiefs this weekend? That's a statistic.
So, good evening, Andile. Good evening to you and the listeners as well. The first thing I want to say tonight is that Molefe Nzeki needs to win this weekend. Only one Kaizer Chiefs coach has ever finished a season in charge at the club, having failed to win all their 3 games at the start of a season.
Who was that?
That is VV Vladimir Vermesovic back in 2009.
Wow. So he could be breaking a record in the opposite direction, one that you don't want to break. What about
bad record.
What about them and Amazulu?
So the good news is they should win this game, however, because Amazulu, away from home, they have won just 1 game in the last 12 months, the whole year.
Say that again?
Months.
1 away game won in the last 12 months.
Amazulu have just won one away league.
Yes.
Aye.
Remember, they don't have to win, they can draw. I mean, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
they don't have to
win
win.
this
It's
one.
0-0.
They've not won a
So
game
in
in a year.
14 games, 12 months,
In
they've
a
only
year.
won 1.
Yes, it's 1 year.
Is it
Since
away?
September.
Away
That's
game,
away
yes.
from home.
Yeah.
Gee whiz. Okay, let's get into Chipa United. I mean, we've been speaking about the coach at Chipa here a lot. Talk to us about Chipa.
So they don't travel well to the Cape, whether it's to face Stellenbosch or Cape Town City or Ajax Cape Town back in the day. They've won just 1 of their last 11 away games in the Cape, going back to 2012.
Hey, man. So since 2012, they've won 1 game away in Cape Town.
1 game away in Cape Town out of 16 games.
Guys, 2012 was how many years ago? No,
COVID.
isn't that 11 years ago?
It's a long time ago.
It's a long time ago.
So in 11 years, Chipa have won 1 game in Cape Town.
1-1, drew 5, and lost 10.
Okay, Jose Ribeiro. He's the coach to watch. You know, we're speaking about him possibly challenging Sundowns. What can you tell us about him?
Yes, Andile, what we have is that the question we are putting is that is he maybe a cup specialist? Because it's 11 games now that he hasn't lost a cup game ever since he joined Orlando Pirates.
He's cooking.
And he needs just 2 more games to have the longest unbeaten cup run at the start of a Pirates tenure by any coach in the PSL.
He's cooking.
He's cooking.
No, he's cooking. At Opta Jabu, I see you. We follow you. I hope you're fixing all your things because we want to support you. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Andile.
With that knowledge, Mazur, which game are you looking at?
The game that starts in about 45 minutes.
45 minutes, yeah.
Spurs and Chippa, huge for both clubs because Coach Morgan might be talking about pound for pound, but the reality is he's not won a game either. You know, and the same for Sean Bartlett. So the 2 teams are looking for their first wins of the season. Sean struggled against fellow rookies Polokwane City a week ago. They're playing at home. Both teams are saying they're looking for strikers, and it's hard to find strikers. So that's the game I'm looking at. And I did a prediction earlier on, and I said Spurs to finally break their top division duck. So let's see if I'm right.
086-000-2160. Taking your calls, your WhatsApps on 060-552-7303. Pro, you're the last one.
I'm looking forward to Amazulu versus Chiefs for 2 reasons, but Andy. Number one, Chiefs has not beaten Amazulu in the last 5 games, meaning Amazulu have not registered a defeat against Kaizer Chiefs in the last 5 games in all competitions. So I know if Amazulu gets something, they get a point or they get a full complement of points. This is Okale FNB tomorrow, and we don't want people to be scared to go to the stadium. But it's going to be interesting in a sense that as well, the 2 coaches really need to register their first win of the season. Amazulu are still searching for their first goal of the season, and I think if they draw this match tomorrow, the Falls conversation will come back, because Roman Falls was also Umshini Wamadro, and we don't want Coach Pablo Franco to be mentioned along those names. So he really needs to win the game tomorrow against Kaizer Chiefs, and this is the right time to play Kaizer Chiefs when they are still trying to find themselves. So it's going to be a difficult one, and I'm so looking forward to watch this one.
So when I was Guti Sasa Zokala must choose my viewer. Yini ngathi nawe uhlala stand ushabo coach ngiyakusola.
Let's go to the voice notes. After the voice notes, we'll take your calls.
Get connected. WhatsApp the Metro FM studio. 060-552-7303. We gon' get them. Get connected. Call now. 0860-002-160.
Greetings, Andile and studio crew. I find it nauseating having to witness Chiefs supporters behaving in rambunctious fashion in this day and age. I humbly admonish and beseech Chiefs fans to praise themselves for the West as long as Chiefs management upholds its close-fisted principle. The only silver bullet for Chiefs is to restructure the entire technical team ensemble and bulldozer squad. Mudaung's family is complacent while Chiefs supporters are undergoing perennial nervous breakdown. Chiefs is in life support as of now. Malro to witness in Patlele. Good evening.
Just in case you don't understand it, Mabaisho Zulu. Nayok in English. Next.
Sawona Andile neteam ukhuluma noManqoba Zulu teammate engicabanga ukuthi idinga usizo and idinga umdlali playmaker. Ongenza izinto iKaizer Chiefs. iChiefs ama strikers ayinawo umuntu ophakela ama strikers. Bazama ukudlala kodwa ayixhumene from the striking point in the midfielder.
Good evening, Andile Ncube.
Hey.
And the listeners. I do believe that Wade's performance is as a result of that decision to go and play touch rugby. But I believe even more in the human body and the human spirit. The resilience of our bodies and spirits is amazing. It's an amazing miracle, an amazing creation. If you feed the human body with all the right things, it can regenerate and heal itself to an even stronger form than what it was. So Wade can still shock us. He can come back and perform better than he did when he broke that record.
I hope so. I really do. What's going on?
Hey, Nadine, I'm glad that athlete. Yeah? Hey, Nadine.
Sure, Andile. Ke tshepa mo mitrend.
Hey,
ke utlwa bolela ka the coaching badge hore the trends they change and stuff. Question ya ka ke hore if the trends they change, then the guys who were creating their licenses long time ago, what do they do? Because if you trained 10 years ago, the rounds, and now things have changed, how do they move with the time? Do they upgrade their licenses as well? Or Honale license, it stays like that forever?
I'll let him Mkonza because he's in that system at the moment. Mkonza, you can answer that one.
Yeah, you go to improve yourself and you don't stop because now you've acquired your license or accredited 10 years ago. You need to go for to improve so that you can be in line with what the modern trends, because the modern trends changes all the time. And I'll give you an example. If you look at Klopp needed to improve himself because already I'm a trends I'm sure. That's why Pep got it doesn't sugar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to the calls. Makosonke Ogwa Nongoma wants to speak about the coaching badge as well. Makosonke.
Andile.
Hey.
Bafowethu ngifuna ukungena kakhulu kule yamacoach, ukuqualify kwamacoach. Ngicabanga ukuthi ngiyabezwa bafowethu babala ojomo abakhona nocoach ongena izolo wechipa ukhuluma ukuthi uGavin Hunt wawena eligi kathathu engenama qualifications. Ngicabanga ukuthi njengamanje ibhola selishintshile, asafane la kuqala. Kwakuyisikhathi sabo ojomo ngaleso sikhathi. Njengamanje ibhola selidlalwa ngenye indlela. Uma ungabheka ubheke amacoach aphesheya athi esegroundini ecoach asuke ephethe ama laptop ebheka ibhola la kuwona kodwa esegroundini ngoba afuna ukubona indlela. That's why uma ungabuka la South Africa ubuka icoach mabe interviewer ayikutsheli ngegame ukuthi kuzokwenzakalani. Iveli bhekele
I know coaches like that, you're right.
Umdlali maye uthothi umdlali uwine man of the match abuze ukuthi ibinjani igame uzokutshela ngibonga umndeni wami ngibonga ubani ba uyabona ukuthi lento iyadingeka ebholeni ukuthi abacoach bequalify singadlali bafowethu ngokuthi umuntu uzocoacha ngoba yena bazolokhu bebhizi bebheka into kuma YouTube benza abaye esikoleni ocoach bakhulisa ibhola South Africa ukuze sikwazi ukuya phambili sibe kwi level efana nawo wonke imidlalo.
I appreciate you. Very good point made there. Let's go to Zita. Zita's at Soweto. Zita. No, I go on to man. You want to speak about the Sundowns?
Yeah, ndifuna ukulungiselela nda Sundowns. iPSL mayeke Sundowns ngathi yase Saudi Arabia. I mean 3 minutes ukuthi uThemba Zwane delay game bawuthatha imali engakaya. I don't think that was fair.
How much was it charged?
I think it's 25,000, but it's half of it suspended. I mean,
so he has to pay something like 10,000 or something.
Yeah, the club.
So when you think it's a lot of money, it's too much money.
The 3 minutes, Andile ngathi mhlawumbe 5 minutes or 6 minutes.
Ukostile ama sponsorships.
It's 3 minutes in needs.
Televised game, yeah.
On TV, iba ininzi because imali engena ku adverts, imali engena ku sponsorships that is being lost.
Yeah.
Utsho kanjalo kodwa nixesha efuna kumntana kumjijimbisela ngathi mhlawumbe udala umlindile.
No, Jonga, because you must understand but igame if iqala ngo3 sayazi ba 5:30 siyaphuma emoyeni on SABC, right?
Yeah.
So now if it starts at 3 minutes past, it means iprogram elandela after 5:30 ikiwe nge 3 minutes.
3 minutes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much, Zita, out in Soweto.
Okay.
Let's go to Tabang. Tabang is in Ivory Park. Wants to speak about Chiefs fans, an important one. Tabang. No. Good. Go for it.
Yeah, good for everyone now. The stood.
Yes, Tabang.
What I wanted to say, Guti, in the Chiefs and my friends, we can't let it go on like this. Because if ever my friends the Chiefs are they must just not attend the games, but attend a ticket. So let's go Guti Bazo, Posamartin and stuff. It's not on. Because at the end of the day, it affects our football.
Yeah, was it Tabang?
Tabang.
Mina ngibhakani.
Yeah, I thought so, Tabang.
Anomnandi ujabulile.
Yeah, Tabang. No, Tabang.
We thought so. Thank you so much. Let's go to Cape Town. Sandile is there. Sandile. Hey, go for it, man.
Hey, guys, I think as a Kaizer Chiefs fans, I've been drinking water than drinking any kind of beverage because I don't want it to be like other fans who are throwing some stuff in a soccer field. About Chiefs, if we can't score goals, we can't win, Andile. This team doesn't score goals. How can we expect to win?
But
I've been watching Kaizer Chiefs.
You've signed a striker now.
Goals. No, the striker didn't score goals. We were just finding a striker who wants goals. Goals make a team win, Andile. We've been watching Sundowns. If ever they score to Sundowns, there's a possibility Sundowns is going to score 2 goals more than that goal. Kaizer Chiefs, if ever they score first, it's a win. If ever the team equalize, it's a lose. What kind of game is this? Soccer game is about scoring goals. We can shout the coach and shout everyone, but if ever we don't put a ball...
Okay, tell me this very, very quickly. Why do you think you're not scoring goals? Because to say you're not scoring goals is one thing, but what do you think the issue is?
The issue to me, if ever, let's say, goalkeeper made one mistake, then the whole team is going to be out because of the mistake. He's going to make a mistake. He's a goalkeeper. But if ever we don't score goals, Andile, how are we going to win?
But why are you not scoring goals, Andile? You're telling me about the goalkeeper. Why are you not scoring goals?
Our strikers are not scoring goals.
Why?
They have been bored. I don't know, Andile. If ever they can't score goals, I don't worry about coach. We must score goals, then we're going to see how we're going to treat a coach. If ever tomorrow they can play and score 4 goals, who are we going to blame?
Let's listen to Umkhonza. I think Umkhonza thinks he's got an answer.
But I can tell you right now, I understand your frustration. But
why haven't you been scoring goals?
Because we haven't been creating.
You said Ranga will score?
Yeah, uzoko Rurang.
Okay.
Uranga phela kayenzanga preseason uwenze nje kancanyana uzothi maka fit uzoshaya imoto. But lengwenya lo Gonzalez le ine pressure too because Chiefs don't need a striker, needs a goal poacher. Singaphi is confused lezi zinto lezi. Chiefs need a goal poacher, not a striker. A striker is a system. We
Is
play the
this
system.
is the Colombian that?
Okay.
You didn't check on YouTube.
Angibukeli YouTube.
Tabiso zawuthi kuruleni Tabiso.
Hey, Tama.
Hey, talk to me, man. Now, Machit.
Proam. Mkhonza.
Awutyama.
Namachita lapha e-studio nonke ngiyanibulisa bafethu.
Go straight into it.
Ola. Phela man Ishma Aman, I'm not happy man ngade way izinto zenzeka ngakhona ekhosini again.
What are you not happy about?
I'm not happy. Even our fans, they are so disappointing. Like it is in the ground.
100%.
All the time, whenever things are not going well, young John. Nakhona into engifuna ukuyicela nje kuma legend nama celebrity supporters we-Chiefs.
Okay.
Ngicela nabo bake bayenze lento sake sayenza nathi yokumasha kunaturena. Just express ukuthi you know what sesikhathele manje.
What happened the last time Nimacha?
Abathembise zona
bazosayina
ama-player but now they are just signing. Mina ngibona ngazathi they are just signing just like
so
now.
any matches
Ubona basayina umuntu odlale 50 games scoring 8 goals and 1 assist.
No, that's not true. That's not true. His stats are a bit better than that. His stats are a little bit better than that. I don't have them right in front of me, but I remember something like 16 games, 8 goals.
Yeah.
You know, so tell me, so his stats are 16 games, 8 goals, and I think was 2 assists in that as well. So I don't think, give him a chance. Give him a chance. Ranga, you know, no preseason, gets in there. It's only been 3 games. Give the strikers a chance.
But as to play is injured, he's gonna come back. They must be patient.
And by that time, Sundowns will be 20 points ahead. Already Sundowns are 14 points ahead of Kaizer Chiefs. Let us not forget that.
But also,
now Sundowns, if they win 20 matches, if they win the next 15 matches, they win the league. It's done.
And also my worry ngale strike sisha. I'm paying record lakhe. Kalama loan, Kalama free transfer ngithile ngoya kusho isikho.
And you can't loan a good striker, right?
You can't.
You can't loan a good striker.
So the fact that he's moved so much.
Yeah, but ngama loan ngani stress.
So you think if he's a good striker, they wouldn't loan him?
Yeah, Sundowns will never loan Shaolin.
Good striker stays.
Let's go to Sibongeleni Matafeni. Sibongeleni. Oh, he's gone there. Let's go to Trayton. Trayton's out in Benoni. Trayton, welcome.
Hello.
Hey, talk to me.
Yes. I'm just listening to him fun about Chiefs winning tomorrow. They'll never win.
Why?
Because even if you can sign Haaland, the Chiefs can sign Haaland, but Haaland will never score for Chiefs.
Why?
Qualified, my brother.
Because Matt Sitebe, those are not Chiefs materials. They must get rid of those players.
Why? Jeez, I feel like a 2-year-old.
He has no one to compliment him. In the coach, Chiefs don't have coaches, don't have players.
They don't have coaches, they don't have players.
Exactly.
So there's no team.
If he was there, it's like when you're saying, no, I'm eating pap with cabbage. Then now,
I really wanted to hear that.
No, I honestly think this call is supposed to be on Ask a Man.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
It's a relationship. It's a relationship problem. This one.
We can't hear you. Your line is horrible, Trayton. And I wanted to hear about the pap and cabbage. Me personally, I gotta get out of here. Hey, Timmy, Olapara, from me, my entire team. Pela, and so me.